Genevieve Tucker.
Okay. Okay, Pat, we got it going. And I told everybody about the new documents you have out there. Some of them have got it, and some of them haven't said it.
Okay. Basically, let's go ahead and start off with a couple of people, if they're on the call here, to go ahead and tell these other people that are afraid to do anything what they went and did this last Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. Good. I can barely hear you. I got a bad connection. Can I call back?
Yeah, call back.
Are you on the conference call? Are you on the conference call?
Yeah, I think so.
On the Skype group.
Hi, this is Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Yeah, I got a bad reception.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah.
So you may have to try to call back into the call.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so any of you people out there that did any money orders or basically transfers using your Federal Reserve Bank routing number or the Treasury routing number and your passport number, why don't you go over a few of those items with some of the people that are here on the call right now before I get into this other document.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead, Pat, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I paid off all my bills and utility bills using the correct sequences. You know, I found out which institutions wouldn't, take the transfers, but there were only a couple. But pretty much it was, a slam dunk. And I was able to use Western Union for transfer. They would take a bank-to-bank transfer. They won't take a cash transfer, but they will do a bank transfer. And I checked back today, and my accounts were at zero. So it does work. Does anybody have any questions?
And the Federal Reserve number you used was from your birth state?
No, it was from where my Social Security card was issued from that particular county. Not from
the letter on the back of the Social Security card.
Right.
Okay, identifies which Federal Reserve Bank you're supposed to be operating with.
Right. Mine's an E, so I'm in Erie County. It didn't really line up with the Federal Reserve Bank number 5. It lined up with number 4, which stated the county. I had to work off of another, more updated chart.
Patrick, it looks like you have to. There's a chart which says what every region covers, and you have to. What it seems like is you have to use the region where you got the Social Security card. So I got mine in Ohio, and even though they put the Atlanta number on the back, it's an Ohio card. And that's the same with you, Pat. The E was where?
Erie County. And there were 2 Word documents floating around there with different Federal Reserve sites. And the one that I worked off from was from the year 2000, and that seemed to be a little more up to date. That I got, and it broke down the different regions a little bit closer. It was a little more definitive than the other one.
Yeah, that document goes county by, says all of this state plus counties in another state, and it's pretty specific as to what counties it covers.
or basically if you've moved around, basically, let's see, that Social Security card basically should have been addressed to your Federal Reserve Bank. And see, that Social Security card is nothing but a routing card.
Yes.
Okay? On the front is the top of the card. That begins with T. Okay? T stands also for Treasury. So the Social Security account basically is for the Treasury. That's the routing number in the Treasury. And see, in the Treasury, you are docked right at the pier. Your ship is docked right there at the pier. So you don't need to have a lifeboat to that you might be tied up out in the harbor. Your citizenship might be tied up out in the harbor, and you have to have a lifeboat to go to the bank, to row ashore to the bank. Okay? So and then you flip the card over and you got the back. So B on back stands for bank routing numbers. And then basically the letter should identify which Federal Reserve Bank you're operating out of. And then out of that bank, they would identify which pass-through bank account they would be using. That's why I made that other document and posted it up there, having the 3 numbers down at the bottom. Okay? For the bank routing number, for the intermediary bank lifeboat number, and then the mothership number, the passport number. And see, for all these naysayers, like there's one guy that posted up there that you're going to get in trouble with this. He's full of shit. Okay? Because that passport number is our mothership number, our citizenship. That's what nobody was using about 4 years ago when we were trying to do this. Okay? So that is one means. Then also, you are, for this document I just posted up today, okay, and the 14th Amendment was to allow them to set up charters in this country, okay, under a postal and religious service, okay, postal, military, and religious service system, charter system. They did it to the Indians. All those Indian reservations are postal, military, and religious reservations. Okay? Then you have combatants and you have non-combatants in this system. And you can prove that by going and watching the movie Scarlet Letter. The Pilgrims, basically, they had some people running around with muskets and protecting the area. Then you had the people that lived there, and then you had the religious leaders running around in there. Okay? So that's part of why we were supposed to read the Scarlet Letter in school. Okay? We were told to read certain books in school that had a lot of this information in it. But nobody ever really read those books and saw what was really going on to them. And now I can go back to them and I can see exactly what they were trying to tell us in these books. Just like the Bible, the same thing. Friday just happened to be a very key day in the Old Testament. It was Passover. This week we have Good Friday, and then you have Easter Sunday. Basically, you have death and resurrection. Basically, the modern version of Passover. The man Jesus said, I do not come to change the law or anything like that. I just come to clarify it for you in modern terms. Didn't say all that, but basically that's what he was inferring. That's where you got to read between the lines. What was going on? He crucified his contracts. He hung them on a cross. They were not dead. Who killed them? Basically, the Pontius Pilate, who was the Postmaster General of that area, had his military people go out and break the legs off the two contracts and then basically kill the main contract in the middle. Execute them. So he was basically the executor. And that's what we're going to do as the Postmaster General. We're going to crucify our documents, giving them notification that we are shutting these things down and that we want out of, and it's a U.S. chartered, non-combatant, postal, military / religious service. You're like one of the pilgrims that came over here under a charter back in the 1600s. No damn different. The Charter of North Carolina. Basically, if any religious leader, outside religious leader, came into the area, or any other banker came into the area, they were to be executed because they were infringing upon that chartered territory. That's why they were able to hang those attorneys and those religious leaders, because they were infringing upon the religious leaders and the bankers that were within the chartered territory of North Carolina. Now it makes sense. And so if you did military time, but see, when you registered, or your parents registered, you became a non-combatant. You were born out of the hopper as a non-conformist. You didn't get born as a clone, so you were a non-conformist. You did not conform to any of the other babies in that hospital or wherever you were at. So you are an individual and a non-conformist because you did not conform to everything that the other one. And basically, I don't think there's any clones out there. That would be a birthing conformist. So you're not a conformist. Now, the certificate of live birth basically set up you under a charter, under this religious or this postal, military, religious, chartered service contract. And they claimed that you were a non-combatant citizen. And see, you go down to the military base, and basically there is non-combatant employees working on that military base. You have the combatant people, and then you have the non-combatants. And then you've even got the religious leaders running around there as the chaplains. So what we have to do, and basically I think this is where I was getting recognition from one of those guys out there, is that I've been the one that's been talking about getting out of the military at the age of 25. And that's, you can get out of this non-combatant postal, military, religious, chartered service at the age of 25 also. And that is per their Chartered Civilian Service Manual, USC Title 46. So you need to get that document downloaded. You will scan a copy of your certificate or your passport picture, not just a picture, but that page, and you will crucify that and make a notation on that page. And then you'll also do one for your certificate of registration, your certificate of live birth. You will do one for your Social Security card. If you have a DD-214, you'll do one for that. If you have a baptismal certificate, you'll do one for that. send those all in to Donahue, who is the U.S. Postmaster General. Okay? He's the U.S. Chartered Postmaster-General. And then you assign him to be the executor of those crucified documents that you sent him. 3 days is the law. And you get discharged from your non-combatant military and religious service. You had the right to do this at the age of 25, but you didn't know that. Okay? So read over that document. It should be pretty self-explanatory. And see, the red, white, and blue is a charter flag that dates all the way back into the 1600s for the East India Company, or one of the damn charter companies that came out of England. Our flag is this snake coiled up, and then underneath it says, don't tread on me. And that, like I said the other night, that goes all the way back to the Bible, to Adam and Eve, to where the snake was cast out of the tree down to the ground and put under the feet of man. And we were supposed to keep them down in their holes, playing that kid's game of thumping the gopher that tries to pop his head up. You don't get something for nothing out here. You have to work for this. Okay? This whole process. And there have been numerous movies out here that have identified bits and pieces of this. Now, when you come out, you're going to be a nonconformist. You're going to be outside their chartered realm. You're going to have to protect yourself because if you try and bring too many of them out or anything like that, they will come after you because now you're infringing upon their charter. Okay? You've got to keep quiet, and you can do it quietly in the stealth or in under the cloak of darkness or whatever you want to call it, okay? But that will be what the situation is. And it's preferably that you're going to have to get your ass up and move out of where you're at. Not only for your own protection, but just for survival.
Bill Smith.
This whole thing about passports goes all the way back to Moses in Passover. And the crucifixion, basically they put a blood marking over their doors, okay, of their entry. And then basically, after 3 days, they were able to turn in they got passed over and turned their documents over, and they picked up the gold that was on top of the Great Pyramid. That was their assets. And then they left town. So you don't hang around when this happens. Now, right now, if you have your passport, you can basically take that passport down to the postmaster. And the postmaster is supposed to be the U.S. non-combatant citizens paymaster. Just like in the military. You pass your passport over to them. In the military, we had to give our military ID card, which was our military passport, and also our pay passbook account identification. So we would pass it over to the paymaster. He would verify that was us, and then give us our paycheck and give us our military ID back. You do the same thing at the post office. you hand over your passport to them. Tell them, I want $5,000 in postal money orders. See how simple this was?
Some more.
But everybody out here has been fighting the damn thing. You just didn't know who your paymaster was, and basically it had been right there in the post office. See, those are administrative postal paymasters for the chartered corporation. And you're going to come out as an American executive non-conformist post-master. Okay? Both post and master are capitalized. So you have a higher standing than just a post little master. Okay? And then basically read the document. I got pretty much, it's not that complicated when you sit down and think about this. And then basically the documents that I posted up there, had Tom post up earlier about putting the crucifixion on there. You don't need all the stuff on there because I put most of it in this cover letter. So you just use one or two sentences on that and then sign and date that document, and then do one for the certificate of live birth, one for the Social Security card, one for the baptismal certificate, and say, I want out of this. I'm of age. I am basically quitting being a non-combatant. I want to be a non-conformist. My only problem is that I've always been a non-conformist my whole damn life. And basically they just sort of let me run out, everywhere. Even in school, even in the military, even when I was working in nuclear power. I was always a nonconformist in most regards, in everything that I did. That's why I was able to get a lot of things done that others weren't able to get, because I was a nonconformist. I could get stuff done. I didn't conform to their rules and regulations in all cases. That's why our hospital birth certificate, why the Bible didn't work, because those are nonconformist documents. They do not conform to the charter documents. Now, if you don't have a hospital birth certificate, you turn around and you take a Bible entry. And you dress that as your nonconformist birthing document. Also, you need to do a new copy of your affidavit. It will be a free American nonconformist affidavit. You don't take it to a notary public. You do a notary public, now you're conforming into the charter rules and regulations. You want your two witnesses, you pull out your right finger and you pull out your left finger and you shoot a hole through that paper. Bang, bang. Okay? Now you've got your three. You're 3 in 1. Basically, you've identified and you've got your two outlying extremities as your two witness boundary points. See, I've talked about this before. Everything that I've talked about is all coming to play, all in this one damn document. I'm just surprised that more people didn't pick up on that 25 coming out of the military service. Most people didn't pick up on it. I think maybe that old farmer out there in Idaho, basically, I think he might have picked up on it. I knew that I was right.
So someone has an open mic and we hear clanking and whistling and things. So please *6 to clear the line. so there's no echo or noise. Thank you.
And then see, all of this stuff out here that we're doing conforms directly to the commercial banking system out here. The only problem is most of you people have never read the commercial banking contracts, and you have no idea how the commercial banking system even functions. You sign a damn contract with the commercial bank, you ought to know how the damn thing works. Well, this thing works the same damn way. And then if you had military time, basically you should know how to get your pay. You go to the paymaster. And see, the paymaster in the military was also the postmaster, okay, the one who delivered the mail. He was also the recorder. In the Navy, he was called a yeoman. Payday only came once every 2 weeks. So he had to have some other jobs during the interim time frame, so they made him the postal mailman, and then also the record keeper, because mail only came for about an hour or two a day. So they had to give him other jobs. See, they've got this hidden away, but basically those postmasters are supposed to be our paymasters. And when you hand that passport over to them, not a money order, a passport, and basically have them debit your account. Now, if you have more than one passport, your original passport that you have is going to be your mothership passbook account. I've tried to send this into the Secretary of State office twice. So this time when I send it in or give it up, it will be the third time, and third time is always charms. But I'm going to surrender it when I get fully discharged. That will be the last step in the process. Just like when we were in the military. The last step in the process of getting discharged, and it's a 3-day time frame, and you get put in purgatory because you're pulled away from all military combatant scenarios. And I was too when I got ready to get discharged out of the service. I was pulled out away from where I'd been working at, and for 3 days, I reported to this other place and just sort of sat there and twiddled my thumbs. So I was in purgatory. And then the last thing that I did when they gave me, and they will settle the accounts, like in the military, they adjust all your vacation pay, all your service pay, any entitlements you have coming to you, they will pay that over to you. Travel pay back home to where you originally came from. They give you that in a check. They also purge the records, your military records. They give you a complete set of them. I even got a microfiche copy of them. And then the last thing, when they handed all that over to me, I surrendered my military ID, my military passport and passbook account back to them. And that's what you will do when this all comes about at the end of 3 days. You will be then surrendering the passbook and the passbook savings account book back to them. You will get a new American nonconformist executive postmaster passport, probably as an American nonconformist executive. Might not have nonconformist on there, but basically you might be an executive ambassador. Okay? The max you can go at the post office and do a withdrawal is $10,000 a day. So, how many chicken shits do we have on the phone line here that are scared of their own damn shadow? Yeah.
Hi, Patrick.
Too funny.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
Here in Idaho, this is Jeff. I've been talking to this kid, this son-in-law, a friend of mine. He thought I was all kooky when I was in North Dakota about some of this stuff and laughed. But we were working on this solar farm a few weeks ago, and he has warrants, 2 or 3 of them, failure to appears, no driver's license. So I started telling him about the not-for-hire and some of these other things. Well, he called me Friday, and here's a guy that has done no study, didn't know what he was saying, that he did have a public defender, and he whispered to his public defender, man, I'm going to withdraw my signature, remove my underwriting on all pledges, bonds, insurance. And he said that. He said the public defender got a funny look on his face, went over and talked to the prosecutor, went and had a little conference with the judge, and then they put him up in front, and the judge dismissed everything minus a small fee to the public defender. So he expected to go to jail and some other things, and he didn't even know what he was saying, but he said just enough where they didn't want to deal with him, and they put him right out the door.
Yeah.
Now he wants to do more.
Yeah, now when he does this with the Postmaster General and basically orders the Postmaster General to execute his non-combatant military/religious chartered service, he will be out of their system entirely.
He might not even be 25 yet. I think he's got another couple of years before he's 25.
Well, has he done military?
No.
Okay, then he probably has to wait until he's 25.
Yeah, he's been doing a little more study, a little more listening, and but I was surprised that he even did. I didn't even know what he was going to do, but he called me Friday and says, this is what happened in court. He said everybody got funny looks on their faces, and the next thing you know, they dismissed just wanted him out of there.
Yeah.
So he was saying that. I mean, for everybody on the group, here's a guy that doesn't even know why he's saying that, but he did just based on what I was telling him and some of the experiences and some of the history that I've done, and just explaining this stuff to him, why we're working. He had enough guts to at least say that to the public defender, and basically he's happy as a lark right now because he can start functioning again.
Yeah. Now, if you don't have a passport, you've never gotten a passport, you don't need to get one. You basically take the certificate of registration, that certificate of live birth, and you crucify that, and you make that your claiming document to claim your postal savings account, your non-combatant postal, military, religious, chartered postal savings account with that document. So you don't need to go and get this passport. It helps if you have it, because basically if you had it, you can go down to the post office tomorrow and get some money. If the post office people actually know what they're supposed to do. But I don't think anybody out there has basically handed over the passport and said, hey, I want some money out of this. I think that might have been what my postmistress was waiting for me. I gave her these money orders, and she said she was going to have to cross those up for line. Yeah, she would, those items. But if I gave her the passport, I think she could have done what I wanted right then and there.
Okay, so, and do we just take the passport down there and order, or do we need a money order if I want to take my passport down tomorrow?
No, that's what I just said. You take the passport. You take the passport down and you slide it across the table. You pass it over to the postmaster and say, I want $5,000 in postal money orders. Take it out of my account. My non-combatant citizen account. Citizenship.
Okay, well, that gives me something to do out tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and then they can get this other thing going because this week is the week to come out of the system. Last Friday was the Old Testament Passover. This week is the New Testament Passover. You're right in the middle of them. What better time to do this?
And with the passports we already have, Patrick?
Yes.
So we don't have to get that that other passport?
No.
Okay, good.
I told you that Thursday night.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't there Thursday. This Smallville.
Okay. Yeah, there's an audio that you need to listen to from Thursday night. There was a 4-hour beat the shit to death call Thursday night.
Good. I get it. I get
okay.
it. This sounds excellent. I think I'm going to go down there to my post office and just go in there and talk to the Postmaster General because I've been talking to her. And now I can just slide it over to her and say, hey, non-combatant, I'm looking for a check, you know?
No, you're not looking for a check.
Money.
Yeah, you want it converted into postal money orders.
Yes, because that's the only thing that's considered legal tender. I mean, when I looked at it years ago, I said, wait a minute, legal tender. So I went to go look it up. And that was supposed to be something with Congress, where they were supposed to be doing the silver and gold for us in the first place. But since they failed, the post office has always been in charge because they have the Book of Life, also something that's called the Ring of Fire.
Wait, let's just slow down here a second.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing is a big casino.
Yeah.
Okay? You've got your assets.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you walk into a casino, and you want to play the slot machine. So you go up to the cash register, and you pull out a $100 bill. And they're going to give you $100 worth of quarters or 50-cent pieces or whatever can play in those slot machines.
Right.
Those are called tokens.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if you go and play the other games out there, craps, whatever, they will give you chips.
Right.
Okay? Now, when you go to the postmaster and you are a non-combatant, military, religious, chartered civilian, what are they going to give you?
Permission for legal tender, correct?
It's not real legal tender. It basically appears to be legal tender, but it's been discounted.
Also, in a way, they actually supplying you whatever
They're giving
you
you tokens.
Yes, they supplying
chips.
it. Yeah,
yes.
they doing both of them.
And that's what those postal money orders are. They're not real post office money orders. They're postal money orders.
Right.
That's why at the end of the year, for everything you do with that, you're going to have to turn around and write an OID out to get your discount back.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
Oh, I see.
Now you see where the OIDs come into play.
Right. Wow, you know what? You're absolutely right, Patrick. That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, because they're giving us discounted tokens in there, and before we walk out of the casino, we want to get our full value back.
Right. So while you're doing
token,
this, yeah,
a token
you're right.
comes in the shape of a disc. That's what he's trying to tell you. It comes in the shape of a disc. It's a discount.
Right.
You just got to understand what the original issue is, i.e. your birth certificate.
Yeah.
How you doing, Pat? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay.
I'm letting everybody know that I paid some bills off with my passbook account the other day also. It worked.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that really were doing that. And I'm
Yes.
surprised there weren't more people talking about this. I
Yes.
mean,
Gita's on the line. Gita's on the
Hi,
line.
Patrick.
yeah.
Hey, listen, is Marshall on the line too?
I'm here, Gita. Go ahead.
And Patricia's on the line too?
Patricia talked about her.
Here.
Okay,
I'm on.
so I don't know who else did it, but I think the three of us did it this weekend. What I did was I have a regular passport, well, the one I sent in for the national. It's in the mail, but I have a copy of mine. And then I did the Social Security card. I looked on the back. I just got one a couple of years ago, and it did change. The one I had prior to that had a C letter, but the one I got recently, it has a G letter in front of the number. So it does change when you get a new number. I think you can get up to 10 in your lifetime or something like that, 9 or 10.
Yeah, but all they're doing is just giving you, they're just moving your account around, accessing port from one place to another.
Right,
Okay.
right.
That's
So
all
what
that
I did, what I did was, since mine was fairly new, it's a G, so I looked up in the Federal Reserve Banking what letter G stands for, and mine is Chicago. So I looked up Chicago. Chicago has a whole bunch of different routing numbers, and I put in. You can put in the first one and see if it matches up with your passport number. Second one, whichever one. So one of them clicked with mine, and it went through. And what I did was I put it in for the car, which was 2,500, and then I put it in for my credit card, which was $1,300, and I when I did the payment, I put the routing number of the bank for G, which is mine. Everybody's different, and you'll have to find out your own, which one works, and it connected with my passport number, which is my ID. Everybody's different, right? So it went through, and then I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous." So I waited another day. I looked at it; it was pending. And then I looked at it last night, and it zeroed out completely, just to let you guys know. That's my story. I don't know what, but I think Marshall has a similar story, too. So, Stephen, hold on. Stephen, for your friend, whoever wants to call me, this is what information I would give her. So I would prefer no one calling me because, I like my privacy. So this is what I did, and she can do it, whoever else can do it, and try it and see if it works. It's some kind of detective work with the routing number. You'll just have to figure that out yourself because everyone is different. Okay, I'll mute.
Yeah, or you can go right to the Treasury and see all those money orders and stuff that we were going to the Treasury, directly to the Treasury, that Social Security number is your bank routing number, your Treasury routing number. And then the number on the Social Security card is your citizenship number. It says it right on the damn application for the passport. It says U.S. citizen, and then later on it says citizenship. Two different things.
I have a question about my brother-in-law was telling me, he's like, he was a little bit pessimistic. He was saying, the account number, how do you know it's yours? So I told him, I said, well, it's linked to my name that I'm using, so it's my account. And he kind of was like, why would you say that? Because it's my account. I'm not using your number. I'm using my number. So I don't know how to answer that to him.
Well, basically, did they not issue that passport to you?
Exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah. It was issued to me, so that's my number. They issued the Social Security card to you. That's your number. It says right on the initial pamphlet when they made the additional presentation for the Social Security cards, at least back in 1962 or 3 when I got mine. It said right on there, this is your account.
Right. I got it. Patricia, did you have any more problems, or your stuff went through?
No, mine actually, my accounts got zeroed out. I just found that there are particular bank institutions that don't do those. Yeah, they don't take those kind of transfers, like American Express, Discover Card.
Wait a minute. Marshall said he did a Discover Card.
Oh, you did?
I did a Discover Card, and I did it on Friday. I'd never done online stuff. I set up an account. I made my payment with that account, and it was pending on Saturday. And I just checked now just before the call, and it accepted the payment. It's no longer pending, and the account is saying that I don't owe anything for this month.
Okay.
That's over $4,000.
It's zeroed out.
I'll have to try it. Maybe I just didn't
payment, and it's saying I don't have to make any more payments, and my payment would normally be on the 24th of the month.
I actually overpaid, like a clothing store card. So I mean, I think I paid that one $8,000, and I paid another charge off that was $5,000. And then I paid my utility bills for the month. And
I wonder if there is. I'm sure there's a top limit because it. When I linked it up to my Visa card for Wells Fargo, I put in the routing number and everything, and it went right through. Then, I went and I shopped. I did I went and got gas and stuff, and I used my credit card. And when I used the credit card, I got the receipt, and I came home. I went online and I looked, and usually when I buy something with the credit card, it would tell you where you buy it, and the amount. So I went online and I looked, and it's still zero. It zeroed it out. It didn't even register it. So the Federal Reserve Bank, I linked it up to my credit card, and I sent you a basket, Patrick. You'll get a basket this week of goodies. So I must have spent like $2,000, and it didn't show. It zeroed everything out. So and then I went grocery shopping today. I needed food, so I figured, let me try it with the grocery shopping. It declined.
Oh.
Yeah, so I am staying low.
But if you go down to the post office and get a $1,000 money order, you can take that $1,000 money order to the grocery store and put it on deposit there, and basically set up a debit account with them. You can do that just about with any store.
Did you go to the post office? Did you try that, Patrick?
No, I just basically realized this, and see, I didn't go in Saturday.
Well, okay, if anybody does it, let us know.
That I went in and gave another money order to my postmaster, mistress, or whatever she wants to be called, and I don't know whether she was sitting there waiting for me to hand the passport over to her. I ended up just giving her a money order. Well, basically, that's got to go up the line to the main state headquarters, to the main state charter headquarters, to be processed through there. But if I would have just handed her my passport, I would have got my money Friday.
Yeah, but by handing her the passport, wouldn't she ask for a routing number?
No, that's all on there. See, they're tied into the Treasury. Now, when you got your passport, did you not give them your Social Security number?
Absolutely.
Yes. So basically, they have all that they need. They've got a Treasury routing number to the mothership, to your postal savings account. And all you have to do is just pass the book over to them, and basically then they will pay you. Put it in the passport, and that's why I kept getting my passport back, because it has value to it.
Right.
If that passport wasn't worth a damn, they would have destroyed it when I sent it in the first time to the Secretary of State's office because my passport, I got it back in 85. It expired in 95. But it only expired for travel. It did not expire for the passbook savings account. It's still there.
Yeah, everybody got to get a passport.
I want my passport back.
Okay.
I know what. Patrick, do you think they'll send back our passport?
What?
Do you think
they will send it back to you? Yes.
Oh, okay. We're waiting for it then. I'm waiting for mine.
Wow, huh?
Now, question and answer.
Any other stories for you, Marshall?
Right, you don't have to wait for this, okay?
No, I'm
come out of the system. You go ahead and put it in, and then when they come to pick up your passport, you just tell them, hey, it's over at the Secretary of State's office. You go get it from them.
Can somebody mute out that's making all that noise?
Yeah, I think it's Gary making the noise.
Hi, Patrick. I have an old passport, and then I have a new one, and I kept both of them. Can I use my old one, or should I use my new one?
It's the old one that has the passbook savings account number on it.
Okay, because it has
the
holes
new one
in
is
it.
strictly for travel.
Okay. Good thing I kept it, right?
Yes.
You mean the expired one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, the expired one is the one that has the postal savings account.
That's my original one.
I used my new one, but I used my new one.
Well, basically, you'll have to wait and see whether there's any funds in the new one, okay?
No, I did. I used it.
Okay.
That's the one I used, yeah.
But you want to use the old one if it's not over 10 years old.
Oh.
Well, my old one's over 10 years old because it expired.
Okay.
But I still have it.
You might want to try and get some activity on it and see if it's still going to go through. So when you come out of the system, you're going to surrender both of those passports.
Now, I haven't done any paperwork yet. Do you suggest I do this new paperwork?
Well, I suggest you go on, listen to the audio from Thursday night, and
I did.
From tonight, and look at these documents that I posted up there.
All right. I think I did.
And talk it over on the group, okay? Get out there and get interaction with the other people, because I'll probably be out of here, and I can't talk to you guys anymore.
Oh man, that's gonna stink, huh? Well, you're not gonna be on anymore.
I told you everything you need to know.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm gonna have to just go through everything and listen to everything and read everything.
Well, you don't have to listen to everything.
Hey, Patrick.
Okay.
By doing this stuff now, I have a feeling. When someone's looking at you, you turn around, they're looking at you. I just have a feeling that I'm being monitored now.
That's paranoia. Okay.
It is? Okay, I'll take some vitamins.
Just forget it, okay? There's people always looking at you.
That was me. I'm going to stop looking at
basically, you are, to be in this group, okay, you've already identified yourself as being a nonconformist. So you're always going to have people looking at you because you don't conform to what they think you're supposed to be conforming to.
Gotcha.
Okay? So forget about that other stuff. Basically, they're always going to be looking odd at you because you're just the oddball out.
Yep, we're nuts.
Yeah.
In other words, you're not a communist, is what Pat is saying.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not in their communal system or chartered system.
Has anybody tried this other than, I guess, us? That's on the phone?
Well, basically, that woman down in Texas did it, and she got, close to about $3 billion and basically left.
Yeah, you were saying something like we might have to split or something?
Yeah. You become unknown, okay?
You mean you'd have to move out to another country? Or?
I would, okay? Whatever you want to do. If you want to stay right where you're at, basically, and you better keep your mouth shut.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Stealth.
But you can move out and take on a new identity just like in the movie Eraser. Okay?
Is that auto?
You're a nonconformist anyway. So you are whoever you say you are.
Is the file from Thursday with the other files, Pat?
Ask Tom. He's got them somewhere.
Yeah, they're all on the Yahoo group.
Okay, I tried to join the Skype. I didn't get on the Skype, so I called in.
Who is this?
Philip?
Yeah, I added you to the Skype just when my computer froze because I can't add anybody to the call. They have to do it before the call.
Okay.
But I added you just before I called back in, so you are in the group.
So is Thursday's talk on the link for Yahoo?
Yeah, the calls are in the Yahoo links.
Okay.
And the files are loaded up there with the dates on them as normal. There's nothing unusual about it.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
So Patrick, when you were saying once you have things settled, get out of here, that means stay strictly in the private, and you don't have to let anybody know what you're doing from now on. Correct?
Yeah, you don't need to let anybody know. Basically, you can set up about 10 different stash houses out there.
Yeah, it's like
places to stash food. So basically, you want an exit place, you sort of put a place in, and just you've got the means to do this now.
Oh yeah, it's almost like using that old term like loose lips sink ships.
Yeah, and then keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, because it's like if you do say something, you actually commencing war with these people, and you making them come look for you.
Yeah.
So keep it, like you said, do it and keep your mouth shut about it. Yeah, I get that part.
Now, if they didn't want this information out, they would have shut me down years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've been on this stuff all along. And they knew it.
Yeah.
And you've not been quiet about it either.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he hasn't been started war with them either. The only thing he was doing was trying to teach those who want to be taught.
Including
guess what?
Well, I got a question. If they know what it is that you are doing and they're aware of this, why don't they do this for themselves? Like, why are they still perpetrators of this? If it's there for us, it should be there for them as well, correct?
Yeah, but basically, in a lot of cases, they signed on secret contracts. Okay, they've made another oath pledge into the system. Okay, and then also some of them are chicken shits too. They're not going to get off the fence either. They're just going to sit right there where they are on their roost because they're happy being there.
They've probably been intimidated like hell.
Yeah, but they're also under.
It's like that oath, isn't it? The oath of secrecy. So, and what that is, since they took that oath of secrecy, if they so much as even look up the wrong way, those people will be executed. And guess what? We're not the ones that's doing it. Yeah, they'll be executed. We're not the ones that's doing it. Their own people will do it because they do it now.
Yeah.
Get these bankers. Right? Talking about suicide. Right.
The government non-disclosure agreements are very notorious. When you sign the agreement, you agree to treason, that if you say anything, then you've already agreed to a trial and you're guilty. So there is no trial. You're just done with.
That's
probably why they're so miserable and give us such a hard time, because they realize that they fucked themselves over.
That could be.
Too late now, isn't it?
Okay, someone's got a lot of background noise going again. Let me star 5 everybody out, and then Patrick can come in and the people who want to ask him something too. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
I got a question.
Okay.
Hello? Is it still advisable on this passport issue? I went to get one, and they put on there non-citizen national. Will you do the swearing?
No, you didn't hear me before. If you don't have a passport, you don't need one.
Oh,
Okay?
I don't need it at all.
If you already have a passport, you don't do nothing. You just use that passport the way it is. But if you don't have a passport, you use your certificate of live birth to go and come out of a system.
Oh, that would probably be better then, because I don't even need to get a passport because I had one at one time back in '85 and it expired.
You better take a little time, okay? You're handicapped. I can tell it right now, okay? Because you don't totally listen.
I'm
when somebody
listening.
tries to teach you something.
You just taught me. I can use my birth certificate. That's all I need then. I can do it that way.
Terminate and come out of the system. But you had better get some additional knowledge.
I understand.
To protect yourself, okay?
All I want is just to get the hell out. I know who I am.
No, you don't want to do that. You want to gain some knowledge so that you can protect yourself.
Yeah,
otherwise, as
I
soon as
agree
you come
with
out, you're going to be a dead person anyway.
Okay, I agree with you. So if I just use my birth, I don't need a passport.
Yes,
is what
and
you're
that's
saying.
what I said earlier.
Okay.
If somebody does not have their passport, okay, then they can use their registration form, their charter registration form, to basically crucify it and then basically surrender or give a copy of that to the Postmaster General and then tell him to execute that registration.
Oh, okay.
And all accounts that are attached to it.
Then I don't even need to get a passport at this
That's
point.
right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'll use from now on. I was just under the impression since I had a passport and I told them I did have one, that's all I need to tell them.
Well,
and
you have
just
a
get my birth
passport,
certificate.
but no, do you have a passport?
I don't have the number. I had one at one time. I don't have the number. I can't remember.
Find the number?
I can't find it. I don't have no.
You can get the number from the State Department.
Okay, will they do this free or how's it?
Yeah.
Well, you can do a Freedom of Information request to them.
And they will actually give me the number. Okay.
Just
but I have to follow FOIA first, right?
Yeah, to Google. No, you have to write them a letter. Just Google how to find passport number.
Oh, how to find the Oh, okay. And they will give me instructions.
There's instructions when you get to the right page. It's at the State Department.
Oh, okay. Well,
travel.sos.gov.
Yeah.
But there's a page there which gives you exactly what you have to write in the letter, and it's free unless you want it expedited, and then it's $60.
Oh, okay. That's all I would need would be the number in my birth certificate to start the process. At least to show that I already had a legitimate passport. That's what I need to do.
They will for free send you a copy. They will send you a copy for free, but if you want a certified copy, there's a charge.
Well, do I actually need a certified, or would the other one work?
I don't know.
If you get the certified, you could probably take that then into the post office.
Okay.
Okay?
Get the
certified. If you don't have a certified, you can use the number online. Think about it. You don't need a certified copy of it if you're doing something online where they don't look to see that you've got a certified copy. Okay?
Oh. Okay, because I'm just thinking of physically using it, and if they ask me for certified, they want to see it, then I'll just have to say, well, this is a copy of it. I don't have...
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Just get the numbers, the main thing.
Yeah, it all depends on what you want, okay?
I just want to get out.
I gave you the means to get out of the system.
I got you.
We're in the middle of Passover. We're in the middle of Passover right now, between the Old Testament and the New Testament.
I got you. I just haven't got the details.
And if you don't have the account, you write that in your letter, okay? That I don't have my old passport. Basically, I do have a copy of my certificate of live birth, and here is this. I'm crucifying that registration.
Got you. Okay.
Yes, see, you have to start thinking some for yourself. I can't sit here and tell you every which, well, I could, but I'm not going to, okay?
I got you.
I've
Thank
done
you.
more than enough telling you what to do.
Well, I'm putting all this stuff together to move on it, and I just had those a couple of questions there. Now you cleared up the problem there, so I've got it cleared up. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Later.
Mr. Patrick.
Yes.
Mr. Patrick, could I clarify something?
No.
Please.
Go ahead.
Please. Okay. There's one little thing that seems to be dangling there, and I'm not too sure that the people who sent in their passport for that national passport understand that they can write a letter and ask them to send it back. Just tell them you made a mistake, but you have to wait. You have to call Philadelphia, the number there, and see if they have a number assigned to that request. And if they have a number assigned, they will give you an address where you can send a letter with that number, and just ask them, please send it back. I made a mistake.
But here's the deal, okay? If you do this document that I had Tom post up, this last one, you've got a copy of your passport, okay? And you crucify that copy and put that in there. Then at the end of 3 days, when they want your passport, you just tell them, I'm sitting up in Philadelphia. Go up there and get it.
Well, that's
you don't have to have it in your hands.
I know. That's fine for people who only had that one passport. But somebody like me, I had an old one. Okay.
Yes, that's the one that you basically,
right.
You tell them where it's at.
Right. Okay. I just want to make that a little bit more clear.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put a little back to you that basically you don't have to worry about this. I'm trying to keep your health up. See, most people out here that get sick basically worry about all the small little details. And
I know, but people,
they just don't know how to get on with life.
Patrick, a couple people have brought that up, so I just want
I know, but basically I'm trying to clarify it here. Now it's now it's in audio.
Thank you. Over now.
Pat, what is your conference call number? I've got people that would like to come on the call, but I don't have the number.
Tom, you got it?
I'll have to find it. I don't have it memorized.
Okay. Well,
I know it.
Okay.
This is Steve. I can tell you.
Go ahead.
It's 559-546-1000, and the PIN number is 785016, and then pound.
Okay, that's 78516.
5016.
All right. See you guys in a minute.
Hey Patrick, this is Steve again. I was listening to Skype, and you cut out when you spoke about not actually needing a passport, that you can do it with the certificate of live birth, something like that. I'll listen to the Thursday night call. I'll probably learn something there, so I don't want you to repeat everything, but at least
if you don't have
verified.
an ID, okay, and you haven't got the means to get your certificate of live birth without an ID, you can basically go in and try and give something into the driver's license bureau and get an identification card for about $5.
Right.
Okay, then you've got an identification card. Then you can go to the Social Security Administration and get your Social Security card. Okay.
Right.
And then with the Social Security card and your certificate of live birth, then you can go and basically crucify yourself out of their system. You don't need the passport.
Yeah, Patrick, about 15 minutes ago, my computer froze, and so it took me about 5 or 6 minutes to get back on. So some of the people missed about 6 minutes, and that's what Steve's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, and like we said, since we are nonconformists and we don't really believe that we need a driver's license, I would rather just go without it.
But you need to have something while you're a non-combatant,
right.
Religious and military citizen.
Right.
Until you make your break out of this charter organization, you need to have their conforming identification.
Right. I might just go ahead and get a driver's license anyhow, just to have one.
Well, but see, basically you're going to terminate it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the cheaper route is to get to the, I don't know how much it is for a driver's license, but I think here in the state it's only $5 for the identification card.
Right. Okay, that's cool. I'll listen to the soundtracks and hopefully I'll learn from the Thursday night call.
Yeah, and then see, once you get this put in, and see, I'm going to follow, I'm going to send a certificate of mailing copy into the Postmaster General, Donahue, and also CC my state Postmaster General, the governor of the state, in the process. But I'm going to turn around and I'm going to fax a copy in to both of them. Okay? So that now they've been notified by fax, so that basically the clock starts tomorrow as soon as that fax hits them.
Yeah.
They do not have to wait for the letter.
Patrick?
Yeah.
I found the URL for the State Department page on how to get your
Okay,
copy.
go ahead and give it that.
Well, it's a long one, so I've just passed it in the Skype group.
Okay,
and I'll post it up on the Yahoo group.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you guys got this all down?
We'll get there.
This
That's
isn't going to be
kinda
another 4-hour call. I'm not going to stay on there that long tonight.
It's interesting that it's really close to Postal.
Someone's got an open. Someone's got an open mic again. Let me *5 everybody out, and we come back in. Okay.
So your comments about the crucifixion and the Passover and all that, it really makes sense, but boy, the religious people sure don't got a handle on it. You know, if you want to make a comment about that again, that's pretty interesting.
He's muted out.
Patrick's gone.
He's muted out.
Oh, that's right. He's not on the computer. He's on a call.
No, that's right. He's going to have to *6 to get back in. Okay, I can read that URL if people want it for the how to get your passport records. Hello?
I hear you.
Okay. You can probably see it in the Skype group.
Yeah, I see it, but I don't have any passports anyhow, so
right.
Don't matter.
But if there are people on the call who want to hear, have me read the passport URL, I can do that. Okay. Yeah, we keep having this problem. People get open mics with really noisy backgrounds, and when I have to *5 everybody out, it's possible that things get screwed.
Yeah, you lose your main speaker.
Yeah. Well, Pat's calling me. Let me see what. Okay, I unmuted everybody.
Tom?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, Tom.
Okay.
When you muted everybody, I couldn't unmute.
Okay, well, you're supposed to be able to unmute, I guess. Conference.
Hold on. I'll leave you on the line. Hey, Thomas.
Tom, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I've got Patrick on the line.
Here, just a minute. I could not unmute. It said the conference host muted the call, so I had to call back in.
That's what everybody is saying. We've got Patrick on the line. We want to bring him back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, unmute it again because he's on the line with me. He's calling me right now. He wants to call back in.
Oh,
so
he can't. Everybody's unmuted now.
Okay, good. He says everybody's unmuted. Bye.
While he's dialing back in, I have a question for the lady that said that there were other places where she had to go to find the routing number. Where was that she went to get that information?
It's posted. It's posted in the files. The Yahoo Group files.
Yeah, there's a whole list of the 12 Federal Reserve banks, and there's a whole list of the A, B, C to 1 to 12. A is 1, B is 2, etc. You have to match that up with the back of your Social Security letter and figure out which one is yours. So you have to do your own detective work. Okay?
Okay. The other lady was saying that there was a list she was looking at, and
they didn't have
So, well, people, please stop, mute themselves if they have people talking in the background. That's how we get this trouble.
Tom?
Yeah.
Maybe what you'll have to do is if the noise level gets high, you have to mute everybody and then unmute everybody, and you can proceed after that.
I can't unmute individual people. I can either mute everybody and they have to come back in, or it is true that if the system screws up, I can unmute them too. But all I can do is mute everybody, unmute everybody. I can't do it selectively.
Right, but what I'm saying is
if
you mute everybody and wait a little bit and then unmute everybody, maybe that would clear it up.
No, that was still the bad open mic there.
No, it's because people aren't housebroken. They're rude and they leave the noise on, leave the mics on or their phones on when they're listening.
Right.
I've done it myself a couple times.
Okay, can you hear me, Tom?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah, this is Pat.
Okay. There is another link which I can read, which has a good list. It's online, and it has a good list of the Federal Reserve banks. It's tgbr.com/help/federal_reserve.htm.
Okay.
And
now,
that's the document that lists all the counties that apply. The other one that Gita was referring to doesn't list the counties. Okay, sorry to interrupt.
Okay. If you go into the basic, and basically that's really all you really should need is the basic Federal Reserve banks that you're dealing with, okay? The main office, okay? Wherever that letter says, if it says it's Atlanta with an F, then basically that's the one you use, the main office. Now, Philadelphia has 2 accounts there, okay? And that's what I put up, gave to Tom, I think Saturday, to put up there, was a new money order going to the Treasury Direct Bank routing number.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that Treasury Direct can either then directly make the deposit into your bank, okay, or it can make it into a Direct Express card. Okay, if you have that. And basically most people that are on only people that are on Social Security would basically have that Direct Express card, or maybe somebody that's on welfare. I don't know how they issue that Direct Express card out, okay?
They issue it if you request it. You normally get direct deposit to your bank unless you request it directly.
Yeah, no, I mean through the Social Security Administration.
Right.
But like I said, it's not necessarily all Social Security. It's basically if you're on welfare or something like that.
Right.
You might be able to get that card. Okay.
I got it not by calling Social Security, but by calling Direct Express itself.
Yeah.
And
okay.
they said that if you get any federal benefits, you can get them by Direct Express by calling Direct Express.
Okay.
Someone's still got their microphone open. I can hear people in the background and clattering going on.
And the funny thing about that one is, and see, I put that new money order up and you would send that into the Philadelphia Federal Reserve Bank, making it marked attention to the Treasury agents. You would use your regular letter account as the main routing number. You would use your lifeboat number, which is the letter plus the 8 digits on the back of your Social Security card, and then you would use your mothership postal savings account. So you move the funds off the ship onto the lifeboat, onto the bank, and then that bank would then transfer it over to this other Federal Reserve Bank, the Treasury Direct Bank account, okay? And that number is, the middle 4 numbers are 9999. In other words, you have to have 4 nines in the process. You've got the routing number, you've got the pass-through lifeboat, you've got your 9-digit passbook savings account number, and then you have this 9-digit Treasury Direct routing number. You've got your 4 nines. See, they make these things so damn obvious that people try and outthink themselves. It's we that have been screwing ourselves more than anything. If the government wanted to screw me over, they never would have sent my original passport back from the State Department. See, it's us that's screwing ourselves. So don't blame them on everything that takes place. You have to take the responsibility that you did not fully understand what you were doing to begin with. You didn't know that you were in a U.S. charter, postal, religious, or military religious service contract as a non-combatant. I can guarantee you, there's nobody out here that knew that that's what they were. Now you do. Now you should be able to start working your way out of the system. And start becoming a nonconformist, an individual, an American free individual, an independent nonconformist.
Right.
Okay.
And
Any
we
other
have
questions out here?
And we have enough people now having some successes that we can no longer say, "Oh, it doesn't work. Show me something." We know it works now, and we've got to learn how to do it. Each one of us has to learn how to do it.
Well, you don't necessarily have to learn how to do it. You need, basically, if you don't want to wait around, get the hell out this week.
Well,
this is Passover week.
That's funny.
Yep. Well, I'll do both. I'll send off for some immediate money and also.
Well, go to the post office if you've got your passport.
Yeah, I will tomorrow.
Okay.
No problem.
Say, I am here to pick up my civilian postal pay.
Right. And I'll be back tomorrow.
No, you don't have to tell them that. Just keep your mouth shut once in a while, okay?
Yeah.
Just tell them, I want some of my pay today. Then you show it tomorrow, and then you say that.
Yeah. Okay.
See, we want to talk ourselves into more troubles than anything else. Because we don't know how to shut up when we're supposed to shut up. The more you talk, the deeper the hole will get. And I don't think too many people have a sky hook out there for them.
Hey, Pat, this is Steve. Is there anything that's detrimental about doing the SS4 form? Is that going to interfere with anything since we already did that, or does that help us?
No. Basically, that's just a cover, basically stating that you've already processed your stuff over into an estate.
Yeah.
Okay? And see,
right.
That is just usage primarily for tax purposes that now you've encompassed all these documents under one estate number. Okay?
Right.
And then with the foreign grantor trust, you'll need to have that number because you're going to need to have a basically an identification number to go back and utilize the 1099 OIDs. That's where that 98 number will come into play. We just had to learn the right purpose and functions of what these numbers were to be used for.
And it also shows intent that you wanted to get out, that you're driving the wagon now instead of them.
Yeah. And like the Secret Service guys there said, well, we've never ever seen anybody expatriate out of a system before. I said, well, I'm going to show you one.
Well, you're not really expatriating out, you're graduating out.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be expatriating away from their charter organization. And basically I'll be outside their stockade or their fort or whatever their reservation, their charter reservation or whatever they want to call it. I will be outside it. And basically I will be anonymous. That's what the word I was looking for before. I'll be stealth, anonymous in my processing. And I'll keep my mouth shut and basically I'll drop things off here and there, but they won't know exactly where they're coming from.
Yeah, you can always get one of those anonymous masks too. That V mask.
Uh-huh.
I know, just being fun.
It's autonomous, not anonymous.
Autonomous?
No, you can be both.
Yeah.
Anonymous is when somebody doesn't recognize you.
Right. And autonomous is when nobody can tell you to do anything.
Well, yeah, they sort of have that problem with me anyway, too. I don't take directions and I don't listen too well. I'm my own man.
Why would the Secret Service say that they haven't seen anybody want to expatriate it? I mean, Like the way they're running this country into the ground, they're selling it all to foreigners. They're exporting all of their
they've never seen anybody
minerals.
do it. They've never seen anybody do it.
Yeah. But I mean, the way they're running the country, we got to get out of it. It's like this plane's going down, it's on fire. We got to like bail out.
Yeah, and see, this is what happened in Daniel's day. Daniel sat at the gate, and basically the people had to have the right passport to leave, to go through the gate. World War II, Germany, Schindler's List was all about trying to get passports for those people that he was saving. That's what that was all about, to get them passports so that they could pass through the system. So this passport deal is big. But the people have the wrong passports out here right now. They have the charter non-combatant citizen passport. And that's you have to expatriate from that because you swore an oath to a foreign charter flag. And you lost your nationality. And that's clearly identified in the passport. How can you lose your nationality? By basically making a pledge or an oath or whatever to a foreign entity. And see, we know that in 1880 or 1872, they made up this new charter government, U.S. postal government for profit in this country. And the 14th Amendment was all about, not about putting the black man down or any of that stuff, because basically they did not have Indian reservations before this. All of those Indian reservations came out after that. So that 14th Amendment was all about setting up these charters. And the Indian reservations are nothing but Indian treaty charters to keep them on that reservation under a charter. And basically then they assigned that control over to the Bureau of Indian Affairs or whatever. Bureau of Internal and whatever.
Right.
Okay?
So the Indians were put on their reservations and we were put on our own reservation.
Yeah, we got under the big federal reservation.
Right.
And see, it includes both the yellow man, the purple man, the pink man, the white man, and the black man. Okay?
Yep.
It had no preference. It took the lock, stock, and barrel of every Heinz 57 that was left over.
Yep.
Hey, Patrick, could you go over again exactly, since you might get terminated of the talking conversation here and not be able to talk to anybody else? Where is it that you saw that you wouldn't be able to talk to people? What's the how does that work?
Well, basically it works under, if you read the definitions about a nonconformist, okay? In Black's dictionary.
Where?
Huh?
In the dictionary.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where you're going to find a lot of the definitions out here. And see, you've got to see that basically as a nonconformist, you can't conform to them. But you can appear to conform to them in the stealth position. Okay? You can basically come in with a slightly different identity, sort of like Jason Bourne did in the Bourne Identity. He had numerous different passports and everything.
Yeah, I think as soon as we watch those movies again, it's all going to make a lot more sense.
Yep.
Yeah. And then basically, so many movies out there have the key thing in there that basically you have to have a passport.
I wonder if that in the Adjustment Bureau, if his hat was the passport,
right,
in that particular movie. But I wonder how that applies to anything. Does anybody have any ideas?
Well, see, we will basically have the top passport when we come out of the system.
It's like a covering, I guess.
It's also like changing your hat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, changing your hat too. That's a great one too. Whatever hat you're wearing.
I heard a good burp before.
I watched the Adjustment Bureau the third time again last night and the Eraser the night before. I'm getting all cranked up.
So, a quick question. On the passport, which number is the identification number or the account number for the passport?
It's the passport ID number, and it's a 9-digit number right up there at the top.
Okay. Because
there's the numbers down at the bottom.
It's not the one down at the bottom?
No, there's a whole bunch of numbers down at the bottom. You want that individual, the passport ID number that basically is called out up there at the top of the passport, right behind where your name's at.
Yeah,
the upper right.
It's in the one with your picture on the upper right. It says ID number.
So, Patrick, can we pay for the passport with doing a check or a money order to the postmaster?
You could, okay. But you'd basically, there again, you need to have your passbook account number. And so you haven't got that. So basically the way you'd have to do that was go to the Treasury with your certificate of live birth and request that passport number so you can basically access that. But they're going to make you suffer to get that passport initially. And like I said, you really don't need it if you're coming out of the system. You just use your certificate of live birth as your means to crucify that document, send that over to the Postmaster General, say, hey, I never did get my passport. Basically, this is the registration form, so I am terminating or crucifying it in its place. To claim my passbook savings account that's attached to that registration document.
So you're saying that the postmaster themselves have the authority to get that same number that the U.S. Treasury would issue, right?
They should have basically the capability because, see, when you got your initial passport, you had to give them the Social Security number. So that 9-digit passport number is already attached to the Treasury's routing number, that Social Security number. So all that they really have to do is punch that into their damn system and say, hey, yeah, this non-combatant civilian person is entitled to this pay.
Yeah.
And then basically they will debit that from your account under the departure side of the visa.
Hey, Pat, if you send everything in and you surrender everything and you're going to get that new passport, now wouldn't you have to send a new passport picture and everything in with that, or there's no other application you'd have to fill out? How does that work?
No, they're going, when they come and take you out of the system and give you possibly up to maybe a couple $500 million gold-backed bearer bonds, they will basically, and you say, I want to move this over into the American Post Office Treasury account. They will take your picture for free. They will take your fingerprints. They will probably take your eye scan. They will probably take whatever to basically properly protect and identify you against that account. Because now you know how much it's got in it.
So they'll just notify us later on after this?
No, when they basically discharge you out and hand over your settlement payments, your discharge payments.
Okay.
They will come and see you at that point in time because you have to surrender either your certificate of live birth or your passbook, your passport, your charter passport, or your charter registration forms.
So at this point, we should just forget about all the other processes that got us to this point and just do these latest technologies.
It all depends on what you're comfortable with doing, okay? I can't tell you to do anything.
No, I'm not asking you to do that.
I know. I can only recommend that basically, in my opinion, the best thing to do is you're an American. You go after your American assets and you forget all that other worldly bullshit out there.
Yeah, that sounds like the best way for me. I'm all for that. I just want to get out of it and get my kids and everybody out.
Now, you get out of it, and then basically, you do not run for the hills. You turn around and you come back in the cloak and dagger situation, and you help out your fellow men. Okay?
Yeah.
What the hell good is it going to do you to have $3 billion or whatever sitting off somewhere when you're not really enjoying it? And what the only real enjoyment out here is going out and helping your fellow mankind and seeing that they are being able to be helped and gaining knowledge in the process and protecting themselves.
Well, if I don't help the others, what future would my children and grandchildren have? I think.
If you don't help the others?
No, it's up to us to do that. We must do it.
Yes, we must do it. Okay?
Yeah, I'm
But if you don't do it, and I find out you don't do it,
no, I'm
you better stand by because I'll fucking kick your ass.
I have children and a family.
You can lead a horse to water.
Yeah, and your family is, I'll tell you, your family is in a lot of cases your worst enemy.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
I'm worried about my children.
You can't worry about them as soon as they turn 21. If they can't figure this shit out for themselves, and you try and help them, then just shake the sand off your sandals and walk away. That's what's called out in the Bible.
Well, I've taught my children, so they're right with me. They're right with me.
Okay, then you don't have anything to worry about.
No,
they will have their account, and you'll have your account.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate
you just teach them to stay in honor.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough said.
Okay, but I just wanted to say my point was that I want to help my fellow man. That's
okay.
What I want.
Yeah.
Thank you,
that's the ultimate goal. Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, Pat.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. It might seem small or large. Let's just say, someone has been following you, including myself, for quite a while, or listening to what you have to say and looking at your documents. By the way, Marvell, if you haven't had a place to live for like 2 or 3 years, but you have a P.O. box, and this is how you've been handling everything is through your P.O. box, including myself. Doing the process, everything will still apply to it, correct?
Yeah.
But that's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know, because I know quite a few people, they don't have.
But I would try and get a place that basically you can give that you can receive mail at, like a friend or something like that say that this is a semi-permanent pickup place, okay? You don't necessarily need to have that, but basically in some cases they want to see that you have some permanent place. Okay.
So a P.O.
Now,
box.
when you really come out of this, you're not gonna. You can have 10 permanent places.
Okay. Okay. So a P.O. box is not satisfactory because I've been having this P.O. box for like.
Yeah. See, that's one of the things. When you get a passport, I don't think they'll accept P.O. boxes.
Oh no, it went to my P.O. box. It didn't. You know, when I was.
Okay.
I mean, because I had my passport for quite a while, and I pretty much demanded the post office send it there because I actually use the address. I don't put P.O. box. I put the street and the name of the street and the number of the box.
Post office is at. The post office is located at, right? Okay.
I just don't put P.O.
Yeah.
You know, and
so you're sort of covering it up in a way.
Yeah.
Dressing it up. Okay.
Well, actually, I learned that from you. I learned that from you. You know, because I saw how you put some of your documents and how you put RR, and a lot of places give you a hard time with if they see PO, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. Well, so why should I get under permission to know that that's the day? So I learned that from you.
Yeah, so using the post office address, in a lot of cases, they won't know the difference.
No, they don't. They don't. I use the address and the name of the street.
Yeah, just call it a suite number.
I don't even put that on there. I just put the number on the box.
Right.
Because when he was doing like Illinois citizen sent to them and the one to Washington D.C., same thing. You know, like, you know, in so many words, he was like, don't disclose information if you don't have to. So that's what I wanted to ask, because I'm going up there next week.
That's a good point. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You guys go ahead and talk for a while. I got to get my mom ready for bed. I'll be
Thank
back.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, it looks like we have a good plan here.
Night, Patrick.
He may be back.
Did anyone get their 1099s?
Yes, I got mine Friday. I
got mine Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, I got a big pack of 1099s Friday. So I guess we're sending them out right now.
Could I ask a question? Did you have the URL number for that passport thing to get your old passport number?
Yes, I posted it up on the Yahoo group.
Oh, okay, because I'm just calling on the phone and I don't have access to that at this moment. But
it's rather, I can dictate it to you, but it's rather long.
Easier, I just go there. Yeah, I'll go there next when I get off. I'll go get my.
Right. Yes. If you should have an email from the Yahoo group saying passport records in this.
Okay, good. Appreciate it. I'll get it when I hang up here. Thank you.
And in the middle of the page, there's 9 points that you have to cover in the letter that you write to the passport people.
Oh, okay. All that's there. Thank you very much.
Tom?
Yes.
Maybe you should go ahead and say it online, so if somebody's just listening in,
okay,
they can put that.
Okay, it's long, but it's not that hard because it's all English words. It's travel.state.gov/content/passports/English/passport, again plural, passports plural, /obtain-copies-of-passport-records.html.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
With that one there, I had a passport back in 1980, and it's been way long since gone. Probably back in the late 80s is when it disappeared. Would they be able to get the number from that back that far?
That's what they said. One of the questions is, well, when approximately did you have the passport?
Okay.
They're in the middle of that page. They tell you that you have to write a letter to the State Department, and they give you 9 points that you have to cover in the letter.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like a difficult letter to write.
Okay.
Amen.
Yes.
Can you send me the e-book for the Sovereign to Serve?
The what?
The e-book or PDF book of the Sovereign to Serve.
This is about the American National Passport, a non-citizen American National Passport.
Yeah, that's from Mr. Shays.
Mr. Sales. Yes. Patrick
Sales, yeah.
said we don't do that. That Mr. Sales had some things wrong, so we're no longer considering that.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay.
This has probably been covered before, maybe several times, but if you've got
you're
money
speaking very softly, and who's ever rattling papers is much louder than that. Who's ever rattling papers right now, please mute out. I can hear people in the background.
Okay, they seem to have settled down. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you, but you should speak up a little.
Okay, this is not a very good phone, so I'll do the best I
better.
can.
That's much better.
Anyway, postal money orders that we have receipts for.
You see that file thing at all?
We just heard the person say, "Do you see that file?"
Try to go through there.
Please mute yourself out. And a woman talking in the background.
Okay, so what I'm wondering about is postal money order receipts from from things that we've bought in the past and paid for with a money order. What do we do with those receipts? Put them on an IOD?
I'm a little vague on that, how we process those and the $300 penalty envelopes.
Okay.
Because we stopped for a while on the 1099s, and I know there have been some slight modifications on them.
Okay.
But right now the priority seems to be that you with one visit with your passport to the post office, you get $10,000. That's probably more than you ever have in penalty envelopes and postal receipts.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
I'll keep them just because I need to have record of them for now anyway, but I'll just hang on to them.
Right, and it looks like we are going to get back in 1099 and OID. So when you have $500 million in your left hand, you can send your postal receipts off with your right hand.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or just give them to somebody. Okay, any more?
Yeah, I have a suggestion that we were talking about with someone else when I was Skyping them back and forth, that maybe we should put together a flow chart. Because if people get cut off, the flow chart's going to be, it's only going to be these calls, so I know they'll be recorded and we can listen to them again, but we'll start trying to make a flow chart out of it.
I think the ideal thing is if we divide up the work to transcribe the calls, and so once we have them transcribed, is edit them down into a really comprehensive, well-organized book. Because that will really put together Patrick's heritage here.
That would be good.
But that's a lot of work, and we need to divide it up and organize it to do that.
Yeah. And
because this goes along with what he says, you got to use more than one sentence. Just listening to the audios for me isn't enough. I've transcribed a number of calls, and what Patrick says contemporaneously, you have to change it around when you commit it to writing. And when you change it around, that means you have to think about it. And thinking about it is a good thing.
I can attest to that, Tom. I'm blind, and I do have a screen reader on my computer. But there again, when I'm reading it with my computer, I'm still only getting the information through audio through the speakers.
Right.
And I'm not putting myself as a victim, not at all. But
right.
It is daunting. It's very daunting.
Well, you have to get to the position where you can teach it to somebody.
So what? Teach it to somebody?
Yeah, he could have an assistant too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got somebody on this call that's been kind of working with me, so we'll get through the process.
Right.
But so I just thought I'd throw that out there, not as me, but as a.
He does have a decent flow chart in his previous directory, where he had his court case. The self-regarding evidence number 5 is still a very good flow chart of the system that we're trying to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
It describes what has been done to us. The methods now that we're using are simpler than when we did the court case.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a yellow brick road, or it is like a psychological path that we have to have an understanding of to, step out of the stadium type thing,
That's right.
And that philosophy, you started to mention before in talking about it in between the Old Testament and the New Testament and the Passover. I think we should talk about that a little bit more, because that'll make a good impression on our mind.
Right.
Like we need these holidays, and they're all made ceremony of, but there's no real teaching out of it that really there should be.
Well, and his analogies are just excellent mnemonic devices for putting it together in a simple way.
Yeah. Can you guys make some comments? Because that's where we lost the call, but somebody else can make some comments about that.
I've got a comment on this, on the process that you have been introducing. Why not just go and do an order by the settler and curator of the live birth certificate, and then start putting point by point by point for an exit document to put in, because if you coming in as a settler and the caregiver and everybody, I mean the head honcho, that's law, and the other one's equity, and you just give them an order to settle, close, and crucify this from the postal savings account to just write up an order in real detail.
Sounds like you're mixing another system into this.
Well, no. I'm trying to find out if you know who you are and what you're doing. Can't you just give orders if you already know this as a settler? Because that's what they took your name as.
Well, we're not using that terminology.
That is what this whole document that I just put up there today. Yeah. It's an order.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a termination order.
Oh, okay. I just realized that this is how you do this.
You need to sit down and basically read these things before you talk about something that you haven't looked at yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Sorry about that. Yeah. You're ahead of the game, so the way my thinking is. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You guys go ahead and talk. I'll listen for a while.
Okay.
Patrick.
I will jump in when you get out of line.
Jump out. Patrick.
Yeah.
I just happened to watch last night Robin Hood again with Russell Crowe in it. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Where they have that stone where it says rise up, when the lambs become lions.
Yep.
Hey, ain't we being lambs and we're becoming lions?
Yeah, we're coming up to stand up as the over the
And in that movie, you know, King Richard, they wanted King Richard to sign, and King Richard said that he don't look to me, look to your estate.
Yeah.
Or King John, I mean, not Richard, King John. At the end of the movie, don't look to me, look at your estate.
Yeah, look to yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's where it's all at, is in yourself.
Right. So if people would take and watch that movie and put on where it says the words, because sometimes it's hard to understand the English brogue and stuff, but there's a lot of information in that movie there.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. I'll mute out.
And then,
hey,
like
Patrick,
in the audios,
there's a couple of
most of the audios that were done by Shakespeare, okay? Othello or Sorrow or whatever it was, Julius Caesar, okay, and basically Brutus, when they killed him, Julius Caesar wanted to operate with local currency, and basically the Brutuses, they wanted to operate with the banking system. That's why they killed Julius Caesar.
Right, and then you, like you said before, the Merchant of Venice and all those too.
Yeah. Even Romeo and Juliet basically had a lot of key components in that.
Yep.
Gee, Shakespeare was trying to warn us about all this stuff back then.
Hey, Patrick, there's a couple of foreigners on the phone call. How do they prove that they're a non-combatant?
Well, they're under a charter organization too. Hell, Australia, basically that is a charter country down there too.
So they
Haven't they got red, white, and blue in their flag?
Yeah.
Do they just claim non-combatant status? Is that what you're saying?
Well, they have to come in and basically they have to become a non-conformist. They are a non-combatant citizen right now in the postal, in the Australian, and in the English postal chartered military/religious company. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Will the person with the child near the phone right now please mute yourself out with *6?
And see, these companies cannot own anything. They have to basically be able to borrow against our stuff or write bonds and everything against our assets. We're the ones that have the estates. That you have put all your eggs into one basket under this charter. And you have to get them out of there and then start putting them all around so that basically if you lose one, you won't lose the whole shooting match.
So technically they could do the same situation that we're doing, just with their passport and their letter then.
Yeah, and their country and everything else. Okay, now if they're here in this country, yeah, they have their naturalization papers, and basically that naturalization number should be a 9-digit. They now became a charter, non-combatant, naturalized charter member, citizen.
And of course they already have a postmaster in their country, so they would just same way go to him.
Yeah, they got a postmaster in their country too. Postmaster General.
What if they're a foreigner living in this country? Then the postmaster would become the intermediary to their country, probably.
Well, you'd probably have to go through the consulate or something like that, back to the home country.
But the consulate's not equal to the postmaster.
No, or that it'd be an interface.
Please, the person with a child there, star 6 your phone out. We can still hear you talking in the background.
I don't understand why people are so inconsiderate, you know. It's really hard to understand that.
No. Is that you, Santos?
No, that was Christopher, UK.
Oh. Okay.
I've already posted him in this Skype call group that he should try this Postmaster stuff in the UK. See what you get. Do you think that
in the UK, you've got you're a charter company there too in the UK under the Church of England.
Yeah, well, because I'm in Canada and I'm kind of in limbo here. I'm trying to get a permanent resident card because I'm a permanent resident, so I can't leave to go to England to get start researching all this. So I'll have to do it from here by mail or go to the British consulate.
Yeah, yes, but could you go to a British consulate? Because Patrick has mentioned before that if you're in a foreign country, we could go to the U.S. Embassy there and get some traction.
Okay, yeah, well, I can do that.
Yeah. And see, in a lot of cases, going back to England, who's the Postmaster General of England?
The Queen?
The Queen.
Well, that would make sense because she's on the blimmin' stamps.
Yes, yes.
Cool.
She's just a postmistress, though. Since you don't have a king in place there now, he'd be the postmaster. She's just a postmistress.
Right. I've got a question which is a little bit off topic, but it's relating to getting out of the plantation. It's a friend of mine in Arkansas. He has an 8-line or a 7-line address, and he has discovered that when he gets sent post by the post office, they put a barcode on the bottom of the envelope in kind of a pale orange print. Yeah. And he has found that they are putting an 11-digit zip code on his mail or post. 72686-910567. Instead of 4 digits after the dash, he's got 6.
Yeah.
And he's just wondering what that is. Do you guys have any idea?
Have you ever looked at the dollar sign that's in that number also?
The dollar sign?
A dollar sign.
Wow, I don't.
Yeah, see, there's a dollar sign in between a couple of those numbers on that, down at the bottom, when they put that barcode on there.
Wow.
All mail is money. All mail.
Okay, I got that.
Okay,
but why?
So
why
they're basically barcoding that amount of money back to his account.
Bloody hell. Now, he's never seen a 11-digit zip code, though. Is that any significance, or is that just a red herring?
Well, basically, that is a processing number for the post office or the postal office to get that back to his account.
Wow. So he's got a special account then.
Well, basically, it's still going back to his mothership.
Right.
To his passport savings account. Passbook savings account, whatever it is.
Wow. Okay.
See, there's a lot of things that we see that we don't understand entirely what's going on here.
Right.
Well,
okay.
To know that all mail is money. Because even if it's got that, if it's got stamps on it, those stamps are money. So they're sending you money to the mail.
So 11 digits is in the tens of billions of dollars.
Well, no, not necessarily, okay? It's just basically accounting for that postage money that is there.
Right.
The 46 cents or the 49 cents, whatever, or the $1.98 that's on that envelope, okay?
Right. So there's
and in a lot of cases, in a lot of cases, those envelopes that have the barcode on them have not stamps on them, but they have those other Pitney Bowes or whatever, red type stamps.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there's no significance in the number of digits in the zip code itself then?
Well, it is for the postal system, not necessarily for you. Okay?
Right, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, it's just a way for the postal system to track the money back to your mothership.
So Patrick, I go to the post office and pick my mail up there directly. We have general post office, and sometimes they say, "Well, hold on a second, I have to scan these in." So they must be scanning that money back into our account.
Yes, in some cases they do. Yeah, they have the barcode on them.
Okay, because I've seen them actually. They're scanning it in before they give me the mail. So.
Yeah.
That's cool.
See, the more you spend the time down at the post office, and I spend one hell of a lot of time at my post office, and they don't know what the hell I'm up to. But basically, I keep learning more and more about the post office. Probably know more about the post office than they do.
You do, Pat.
It's all a game. And you got to play in the game if you want to learn how to win at the game. I mean, how many years did Boston Red Sox learn how to lose before they finally learned how to win? I mean, they kept blaming it on the loss of Babe Ruth, and finally, when they gave up on that, they started winning. Well, it's all the Bambino's problem. He was our fault. We're just under his curse. No. Basically, you're under your own damn curse. You've got to work your way out of it and learn how to win.
Yeah.
Amen.
We can hear still somebody clanking dishes in the background and a little bit of conversation. Please mute out. *6.
Yeah, they're shuffling papers too.
Now that's cards. They're playing poker. Probably strip poker.
So Patrick, besides passing the passbook as Passover, can you explain that the analogy of Passover and in between the Old and the New Testament? I mean, I understand.
They're both the same. They're both the same. Okay.
Yeah.
In the Passover, they see the people. Moses had the people go out and put a red mark above their door.
Yeah.
That was crucifying their contract with the pharaohs.
Yeah.
And then basically they had 3 days to bring about the settlement. To execute, the pharaohs had to bring about the execution of their contract in 3 days for the ones that had marked their doors. Jesus did the same thing, okay? We've established the fact that it was Jesus Barabbas, okay, was the living man, and that Jesus, the other one, was the fictional contract man. He was the one that was hung on the cross.
Yeah.
So the Barabbas, the living man, hung his fictional man on the cross, crucified him, but he did not execute him. The Roman soldiers came and executed him, and the Roman soldiers were working for Pilate, who was the Postmaster General.
It's almost like the song, "Don't bogart that joint, my friend. Pass it over to me. Or roll another one." That's the bank roll.
Yeah. And see, it's right in the in the financial dictionaries. Pass the book. Well, if you pass the book, you pass over the books. They just didn't have Passover there. They said pass the book. Because if they would have had Passover there, somebody might have keyed in on that back to the Old Testament.
Yeah, that's a good one. The Jesus Barabbas was the living man, because the Barabbas, we looked that up, and it meant Son of God.
Yeah.
And then that guy hung on the cross, but the Roman soldier killed him, so that's like a figurative analogy in a way.
Yeah. See, they broke the legs of the good thief and the bad thief. Okay? The bad thief was like our Social Security account. Okay?
Right.
And the good thief is our certificate of live birth account. We will take the certificate over to the new account. But the Social Security card is going to be done away with. Okay? I got to run. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, you said before the Social Security account is the savings account, it's the ADS, and the ADR is your receipt, your
right. Birth certificate is the receipt, and the Social Security is the share.
Yeah, shareholder.
American Depository Share.
It was pretty timely to learn it. Like you said, this is Easter week.
Yeah.
Pretty timely. It's cosmic.
Did anyone write down the 4 9s accounts?
It's on the new document.
Oh, it's on the new document?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the, what did I call it? Executive Postal Money Order.
The termination. Isn't it the
termination?
No, the termination is saying discharge me from this army. The postal money order, which I think he did maybe yesterday,
yeah,
is doing a money order that gets deposited to your Direct Express account.
Could somebody put that on the Skype?
Which Skype?
This one?
I don't know if you guys are on the phone. I guess I'm on the Skype, listening on Skype.
Oh, you're Eplo?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have access to the Yahoo group?
Yeah, I guess I do. I can get it there. I just thought someone had it so I could see it.
Which one do you want to see? Both of them? Termination of military service? You don't have that one either?
That one already. I have the termination. I don't have the new postal money order, I guess.
Executive Postal Money Order. Yeah. There's 2 versions of it, I believe.
Is that Rev 1 the one that we're supposed to be looking at?
I think do them both. Take a look at the differences. I think he did some change of wording, but also I think on the Rev 1, that's where he did add the Commercia Direct Express account number. That's on the second page.
That's in the passport banking folder?
Yes.
It's called Executive Money Order Rev 1, right?
Right.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, I got somebody that wants to learn this stuff, go through this. They don't have a Social Security card, but they do have a passport already. Do they need to order their Social Security card?
Do they have a birth certificate?
I don't know. I believe so.
Okay. Patrick is saying you could go in and cash in your birth certificate.
Okay. So she doesn't need her Social Security card for that letter because her passport's already tied to that, right?
The
first letter on the Social Security card gives you which Federal Reserve Bank, but she doesn't have a card to know.
Right, she doesn't have a card, so that she would have to use. You probably need to ask Patrick the detail on how to do that.
Okay.
Because most of us aren't doing that, so.
Well, because she already has her passport, I'm just thinking because to get your passport, I thought you'd need your Social Security card.
No, I'm not sure. I think you may be able to get a passport. Well, did she have a passport before? Just can't find it, or she never did have it?
No, she has a passport.
No, yes.
Yes.
We might learn more tomorrow when we go to the post office if we can just pass the passport book over to her or to the postmaster.
That's true.
Well,
and then we'll answer that question.
Yeah, just the passbook what Patrick said today. Take the passport to your post office and present it and say you won $10,000 in postal money orders.
Well, it's not going to hurt.
No paperwork involved.
It's not going to hurt to tell her to just try that, right? I mean, all they can say is no if it doesn't, whatever. I mean, she's not going to hurt.
Well, back it up with the document that you're a non-combative and non-conformist.
Right. She doesn't have all that yet. She hasn't.
Well, that's easy enough. Just take it off the website and print it and sign it.
Okay.
The second version that Patrick put up there, first version he put up there was tailored for him. The second version he left in places where you can write into stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make it your own, type it up. Pat, didn't you retype it, or did Gita retype it? No, I think Norge retyped it. And I have to take a look at that and perhaps post it up tomorrow in a doc file. What Patrick is posting now is he's faxing me his documents, and I clean them up a little bit because I remove the fax header off the top, and then I do character recognition, which straightens out the page. So you can cut and paste from it, though it'll probably have about a 10 to 8% error rate in terms of the wording. And so you could just cut and paste a document, put it in your own document, and rework it there.
That'll work, Tom, if you got the Acrobat, but if it could be posted in Word, it would be easier for people to work with.
Well, there's free PDF readers out there.
Yeah, but that's the reader. You can't change the doc without having to go out online and pay for it.
No, you can go to PDF Escape and change it. PDFescape.com.
Yeah, but it's what he's saying, Tom.
Peter.
If you're going to do it, why not take it from the PDF and go right into a Word, convert it to Word document?
Right. If he has Adobe Reader, he can take the search.
If he has basically, there's some programs there that you can go right into that. Okay.
Okay.
And save it into Word. Okay. Even Word document has a program within it to convert right into Word.
Right.
Take
and
a
in fact,
PDF and convert it right into Word.
In fact, there is a website, zamzar.com, where you can take a PDF and convert it into a doc file.
Yeah.
ZAMZAR. You can convert about anything to anything at that site.
Yeah. But it's best if one person converts it and then posts it in the Word document.
Right. Nord said she retyped it. I got that just before the call, and I haven't looked at it.
Okay.
Oprima los últimos 4 dígitos del.
I'm just saying it's easier to work with it in Word than it is to work with it in Acrobat.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can also tailor it to yourself so they don't appear all exactly the same.
Just seems like all the computer systems recognize Word faster than they do the Acrobat because Acrobat's trying to control it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I like Nitro PDF a lot better. I use that a lot when I do PDFs over Adobe or Acrobat.
It's another day.
Okay, any other comments or anything on this? Understanding what you're not sure about?
Hey, Patrick, this is Steve. I remember the last call you talked about Statutes at Large, Volume 17, Chapters 3 through 5, and there's 48 pages we have to read. It's not posted anywhere. We have to find it, right?
Well, no, Tom posted that up on the group site.
Oh, good. That's not me doing that noise.
No, that's I think it's a Spanish woman has her mic open and is talking.
Okay, I'll look for that. Is that in the files, Tom?
Right. It starts out with 17-stat-335.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Patrick.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done with my comments.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that'll give you a good starting point on understanding the postal money order and just the postal system, because they reconsolidated all in 1872. Someone's got some feedback going there. Got a mic open or something that's kicking back in here.
Yeah, I just found it, Tom, and it's the number one item on that file.
Right. Well, that's because it's numeric, so it's going to the alphabetic sort of We may have some leakage from other call.
That's not me.
Yeah, there's
I'm not on the phone. I'm on Skype.
Yeah. Right.
I'm on Skype.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of this stuff is being processed through Yahoo or Google or whatever, and I think it's Google's system that basically got this, some of these things messed up.
Oh, people calling Google Voice. Okay.
No, that's Spanish, Tom.
Yeah, that sounds like a voice menu thing saying for this, dial that number, for that, dial that.
Somebody had call holding and left another call open or something.
Yes, something like that. Well, we could try it. I could try and do this out again.
Mute out Spanish-speaking people.
I can only mute out everybody, and then you have to come back in. I'll do that.
Well, yeah, make sure I might be muted out again.
Well, if I can't hear anybody, I'll mute back.
There you go.
Okay.
Got rid of that.
Good.
Okay, I was able to come back in this time, so.
Great. That was probably a one-time bug when you couldn't get in.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we've pretty much identified that we know that the postmasters are the charter, and under the postal charter, they are the paymasters to the non-combatant citizen, U.S. citizen chartered non-combatants.
Right.
And then basically also you have the means to go to the bank using your ship out in the harbor and using your lifeboat, okay, to bring the stores ashore or to the bank. And then you also have the Treasury docking number. Someone's got a lot of feedback there, okay?
Yeah, no,
Please
that's
mute out.
someone breathing hard. I may have to look in the other system where I can. Okay,
You guys mute out.
Okay.
Okay. And then the other is if you're tied up to the dock, and that's when you're at the Treasury, and you process your stuff through the Social Security account and make your transfer. But see, all the time, 4 years ago, we were using the wrong account number. We were trying to use the lifeboat, and we didn't have any funds moved off the ship into the lifeboat yet. Now we have the mothership account, and we can move the funds out of the mothership onto the lifeboat, and basically also go to the Treasury and move them off the ship onto the pier, and then transfer them to where we want them to go. That we needed to have that passport or that passbook savings account number.
So when you bring this to the post office to deliver it to them, they process it and then give you their money orders back or else cash?
Yeah, that's what they're paying you in is tokens, okay?
Yeah.
You're giving them your passbook savings account, and then they will take so much out and give you postal money orders.
Right.
And then you take those postal money orders, and they're good anywhere. Anybody will take a postal money order because that is one of the things that basically they're required, because that's what they set up back in 1872 was this postal money order system from the postal system. And see, that's what we're really supposed to be operating with. We're not supposed to be operating with the Federal Reserve dollars. See, that came about later. We were supposed to be using money orders.
That makes sense.
But by the usage of the Federal Reserve dollars in the thing, that is where we need to go back and get the original discount from, is that usage. But since right now the federal postal money orders are being converted, basically being utilized as Federal Reserve dollars in their system, then you turn around, you take those bills that you get back from the post office and say they all have a bill number. And basically you turn around and you can cash in those bills. That is what you are going to get back for your receipt for your OID. And see, we don't do accepted for value on bills that we get from utility companies. You do a veto of that bill, and then you turn around and as an executive officer, you turn around and you order them to set it off from what they owe back to the Treasury. They had to borrow the money to operate, so they borrowed the money from the Treasury, either by way of a bank or some other means to get access to the funds. So whether you set off the amount that they owe back to the bank, which the bank owes back to the Treasury, it doesn't make any difference. It's still in the system. That's when the OID comes into play, to get our discount back that they gave out to us and caused by the inflation.
Wow, it's like getting paid twice.
Well, it is and it isn't. Okay.
Yeah.
You're just getting your full value back.
Right.
Okay. See, a car back in 1967 cost around $3,000, $2,000 to $3,000. What do we got? We got roughly at least 10% inflation because cars now are costing roughly $20,000 to $30,000, tenfold. So you're only going to get a portion of it back, but the more you bring that back, then basically that will start bringing the monetary system back down into line to where it's supposed to be. Never will, because not everybody is going to come out of the system. So you're just getting a portion of what these other people should have been getting back in the process.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
I was on another call. It was the Equity Assembly call this morning, just, listening in, not intensely, but just in the background. And one of the things that came up was 7 CFR 1901.5 something, something, something. So I just put it in my computer and looked at that, and forms of payment were right next to the quote of methods to pay. It says payable to the United States Treasury without recourse, and the utilities for payments was right next to it. It was the first closest statute for utilities. It was before the payable to the United States Treasury without recourse statement. And I figured, well, throw it out there and let you think about it.
Well, basically, we don't need to put any of that without recourse or anything like that. You do an executive order, okay? And you see, the president can veto any bill that comes out of Congress. A bill that comes out of Congress is basically something that has a monetary value of it. So they're sending a bill, a monetary bill, up to the president, and he's saying, hell no, I don't want that bill. I veto it. And then Congress has to go back and get 3/4 to turn around and try and force the bill on the president to bring it into play. But see, we have the right of veto, but we also give them a follow-up executive order to set it off. Here, we will tell you how to do it, to set that bill off. Because everything out here, even all the bills that come out of Congress, are money. They're all evolved around money, a bill, and a set-off of that bill. See, half of this stuff that is out there is deceptiveness in all their codes. They're deceptive codes to try and get you people off center. The codes are not all for us. The codes are for them in the charter organization. And see, like Title 46 is the military and religious military codes. It's their manual that they have to follow when we force them to follow that manual. And right in there, it talks about the age of 25. So when you totally come out of this system, you're not going to worry about any more damn stinking codes. But if they cause you harm, then they are the ones that are in violation of their codes. They're not our codes. Any comment on that? I'll throw it back at you. Anybody?
Yeah, I
on the
remember
line?
people used to. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I remember people used to talk about the Lieber Code, you know, like how they handled civilians after the Civil War. And I remember in like Section 35 or something like that, 35 or 38, they said that if anybody, you know, was a non-combatant and wrote up a bill, they had to give them a receipt to go get paid or something. I was looking for it in the interim. I was going to mention it, but I think you guys know about it already. They had to write a script or they had to write a receipt for any bills you give them.
Yeah, see, that would have been at that point in time drawn against the American National Treasury to do the set-off. And see, that's what was going on before the 14th Amendment when they brought in this for-profit, chartered for-profit government into place, was that basically there was not to be any debtor prisons, and there's still not supposed to be any debtor prisons in this country. You have the means, if you know what you're doing, to set off the bills. But you've been given your own individual account. And the people don't know that. They don't want to claim that account. They want to try and fight the whole damn system. Well, that's in their system. I don't want to have a damn thing to do with it, so I ain't going to take it. Type scenario. And basically that was by the infiltrators into the patriot community to get them to fight every damn thing that's basically for their benefit. Yeah, 90% of that patriot movement was basically by the deceivers. And basically out of that, they locked up one hell of a lot of the damn people that were trying to operate in honor out of here by getting them into dishonor.
Right, we started calling some of them MK Ultra patients.
Yeah. But see, we were supposed to be strictly a nonconformist. And see, when you're a nonconformist, then you are an inventor. You're an individual. You can think outside the box. You're not in their conforming situation. In other words, you start writing your own rules and regulations. Your own
you can
codes.
become a crusader like Batman.
Yeah.
Right, Patrick? You can become a crusader like Batman.
Yeah.
So,
or you become another St.
in
Patrick
the same
and drive
way,
the snakes out of the land. Okay, anything else?
Send them to Iran.
Huh?
I said send them to Iran. Iran likes to hang criminals that screw the government.
Yeah. They
had
don't like
four bankers hung. Yeah, they hang these guys that are ripping off the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about 2 years ago. Iceland and Hungary are doing good jobs at that too. Maybe not quite hanging, but going after them.
Yep. Because I mean, if you don't do something like that, there's nothing's going to stop them. They just keep plowing away.
And that's why they're after Syria. Syria has no Rothschild central bank, and also has no IMF debt and won't take a loan.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Iran like that too? They didn't want to take the petrodollar, and therefore the United States wanted to attack them because of it.
Well, also
that's what the end result was, and the same thing happened in Libya. Okay, and then we sent our charter organizations, CIA, in there to infiltrate and incite the people against the people that were really trying to help the people.
Right. Syria, Libya, Tunisia, Iraq, Iran, and Afghanistan did not have Rothschild central banks.
See, Venezuela was trying to get rid of them too.
Yeah. They were trying to form their own Bank of the South in opposition to the IMF.
See, you'll find that addressed right in that movie, The International.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes.
Okay. Kenneth, you have an open mic?
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
Yep. Yeah, Poland got their whole government wiped out because they didn't want to go along with the UN and the EU. I mean, they didn't want to go with the EU at all, and they like turned the lights off on the runway at the destination airport and strung lights out over the forest and made the plane come down in the forest. And then they, shot the guys. Whoever survived the wreckage, they were shot. But they took the whole government out on that one plane.
Yeah, 23 of them.
Well, they probably took out the political. Yeah, the land and the people are still there, just like any other country after war. They're still there.
Yeah.
But they have puppets in there now.
Oh yeah.
They don't have solidarity like they had.
Yeah, I got a question.
Go ahead.
So, anybody know what's going on with these bankers that are falling off the buildings? What that's all about?
Yeah, they know too much, so they're getting eliminated so they can't squeal. And there's an infighting going on between the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers right now, too.
Wow. And the Bushes and all the different banking cartels out there.
Yeah, Bushes are on the Rockefeller side.
Yep.
Too bad they don't just tune into Patrick's call here and learn how to, collect their $5 billion in gold-backed securities.
That's right. Get the hell out.
Yeah.
Who wants to help a banker?
True.
Or as far as that goes, who wants to help an attorney? Jesus, both of them are just as bad as each other.
Well, see, there again, they've taken that other oath, okay, and that's a life and death oath that they took to be a bar member, okay, and most of them are Masons, okay, in the upper levels of the Masons. All of your chief financial officers, especially at the banks, are all in the Mason situation, and they've all taken an oath there, and basically if they let anything out about that, they're dead. See, that's what happened. Okay? That's what happened to John the Baptist. Okay? John the Baptist was an insider. Jesus was not an insider. But he was the cousin to John the Baptist, and John the Baptist told Jesus how the monetary system works. So what happened to John the Baptist? He lost his head. JFK overstepped the boundaries in the system, and was trying to help the people out here, he lost his head. Abraham Lincoln got his brains blown out. Okay? Garfield, they took him out. These bankers basically take out their insiders if they step over the line. But you, as an individual, if you find out the system, they can't touch you because you aren't an insider. And you're not under that secondary oath to them. And that's the problem that most of these attorneys and everything else, they took that oath not knowing what the hell they were really doing. And then when they find out, then it's too damn late.
Then they get the curse.
Yeah.
Hey, Patrick, is that the Treaty of Verona?
I don't know which one it is. Okay.
Where they took a blood up.
There's quite a few different ones. Treaty of Paris, several treaties of Paris to basically address what was taking place here. But a lot of this was also under the charter organizations. Okay.
It's called a secret oath. Is that correct?
A lot of this goes all the way back to the original charters that came out of England over here in this country of the East Indian Charter Company.
The Jesuit oath is the one you're talking about.
No, not the...
Okay, not specifically.
Okay, it's not the Jesuit oath, okay? It's basically the oath that basically has gone on ever since the Pharaohs back in Egypt, but all the way back to the first Babylon of the money changers, the bankers' oath of silence.
Okay, I just never read the other oaths besides...
Well, you'll never see them, okay? They're not going to post them out here to you because you're not an insider. They don't want us outsiders to know all of their inside inner workings.
All back in. All back in.
I don't know who that is.
Hello?
Okay. Basically, if there's nothing else going on about this Postal, about the passport and the Passovers, then let's call it a night.
Yeah, we're going to check it out this week. Thank you, Patrick.
Okay.
It's almost 3 hours.
Yeah,
Thank you for the 3 hours.
See you on the other side.
Okay.
Later. Okay, see
Tom?
you guys. Good night.
Yeah?
Tom,
Yes?
in this termination of my U.S. non-combatant postal religious, so on and so forth, one of the attachments, free American non